What up, party people? Welcome back to Sawyer 7, episode 51 already. That does not seem possible that we'll have a year's worth of episodes next week. It really doesn't. Last week, you all waged
on Dragon Ball Z.
Well, yeah, last week on Dragon Ball Z, you all waged a extremely successful spell-related onslaught against the god form of Thar's Dune, god of madness, and were able to paralyze him and strike him down. But his body
exploded. Yep.
And
like an idiot, I used
went boom,
all my spell slots.
Yeah. So I need everybody, and I'm gonna pull the battle map out here. And this is where is it? I have repositioned it using the VOD last week. You all also have blessed from your potions of heroism, except for Rainin. So everybody's aware of where they are in the room at the moment his body explodes. I need Rainin, Royce, Bael, Alvin, and Penelope to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Is it a spell or magical effect?
I would consider this a magical effect. Also, Bael and Penelope are, in fact, in Alvin's radius.
So +5 and advantage to both of you.
Yeah.
Can I ask what kind of damage this is? Lightning, necrotic?
The first wave of damage is going to be force damage. I'll tell you that much.
Alright, so you said
24.
What?
Okay, that will do it.
Alright, bless Alvin's thing. You said it's what, wisdom?
No, con.
Wait, am I in Alvin's thing?
You are not in Alvin's thing.
That's what I thought. I wanted to make sure I did my math right.
Yeah.
24.
Second roll's better. That's a 15.
24.
Plus 6, 1, 5, 27.
Okay, that also succeeds.
And I had a 26.
That will succeed. What did the Drake get?
Death? Death?
Quite possibly. I don't know.
It's death.
I don't know how many hit points he has left. So
70. He took no damage yet.
Oh, okay.
But he's definitely gonna fail.
Yeah. With the 17,
He's got a 12.
We all should be pretty much topped off in hit points.
I'm a little above half.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near top.
I'm about half.
For now, I'm sure I'm about to be a lot lower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you all take 75 points of force damage on the concussive blast on a success.
Sounds about right.
Oh, cool. Ow.
150 on the fail. As this this concussive blast radiates out as this form is like, it's a god exploding. It's this massive wave. Lucy, you kind of see everything slow down because you're outside of the blast radius of where this is happening. So you kind of see them all like fling back and then just like hold in midair. As the second level, as the explosion happens, of fire damage happens, which will be another Constitution saving throw.
Also magical.
Also magical.
And everyone who was in my radius is still in my radius.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm failed, by the way.
What'd you roll?
A 7 with bless.
Yeah.
You said con again?
Con again.
31.
30.
Okay.
25.
That will also succeed. So that is 150 points of fire damage.
I am unconscious.
Unconscious.
How much if you pass?
75 if you pass. Sorry, 150 if you failed, 75 if you pass.
No. Still unconscious.
Still unconscious.
I had 27 after that first blast.
I believe the same applies to you, Roy, so you're still unconscious. Wait, you failed.
Yeah, I had 9 health.
Okay.
I was unconscious anyway.
Pan's also unconscious.
Everybody should be pretty much topped off because I healed.
No,
No,
they
You
were
weren't.
not.
you healed us from practically nothing up to about half, and now we're unconscious again.
Okay.
Yeah, Pan's
No one was
also
close to
unconscious.
topped off, but we were all okay.
I
But
was
not for
full.
Drake's dad, Rainan's unconscious. As out
so
of
is anyone still up?
Lucy.
and Bael, out of this body, these shards of this shadowy form just kind of like disseparate out of everywhere out of this body. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I closed out a tab I needed. 1 second, please. I'm sorry. You, Lucy, and Bael, who are still conscious in this brief moment, see out of the explosion of this physical form this kind of like wisped shadow. Have you guys ever seen, for like a reference, have you guys ever seen like Nightmare Before Christmas? You know, like the shadows on the wall at the very beginning during the This Is Halloween number? Something like wispy and akin to that, kind of pulling out of this form and going up behind the wall and seeping through like the cracks in the ceiling going up.
See what spells I got left here.
As his physical form separates, and that them being thrown back and hanging in midair in that second, in that implosion, in that 6-second window, they all kind of hit the ground at the same time as that almost time stop. Time returns to normal.
Do I have
an instant.
time to cast Mass Healing Word?
I will say no, because you're on the ground. In that first instant, you would not. And that Lucy would have first go on what she wanted to do.
Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay. It's a 30-foot. Yeah, you can get everybody. Because that is not 30 feet. It's a little small for this map.
24.
And how many targets is that?
It's everyone in the radius, I think.
6 creatures.
Okay.
I don't know.
So Lucy won't take it if everybody else needs it.
Lucy, take it. I can heal using mine.
Okay.
Because I still got my 4th levels, 3rd levels, 2nd levels, and 1st because, well, he was immune.
Right, I need you to roll a d20 for me.
13.
Okay, I'm just out for now.
Okay. All right. So 23 points of healing, and the 4 of you return to consciousness.
24.
Or 24 points of healing. And 3 of you were knocked unconscious, return to consciousness. What are you going to do by all on your turn?
I will also cast a 4th level mass healing word.
Okay.
17, and Lucy take the D8 plus 6.
You mean Pan? Lucy doesn't need it.
Or a pan, yeah.
How much did you say before the d8?
17.
I rolled a 6.
As the emergency healing goes out and gets you all up to consciousness, what would you like to do?
Are we still in initiative order?
No. That was just because Lucy wasn't in the time. So
Yeah.
she got to act first. There.
Just kind of, I'll just get to my feet and survey the damage.
Okay.
Did
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and look around.
Explodey God ruin the room at all, or is the room still intact?
There are cracks in the floors and ceilings and columns in the back half of the room.
So how's Rainan doing?
Make a perception check for me. And Royce can as well.
25.
Um,
27.
on those rolls, not only is he not getting up, he's not breathing.
I'll cast Revivify on him. I don't have any spell slots. I will do it from my scroll, which I have.
Okay, and it's on your spell list, so
It's on my
Um,
spell list. I have a scroll of it.
You have a diamond?
the spell scroll
I'm
consumes the diamond.
Yeah, you have to
When
use
I
the
made
diamond when
them, I
you
used
make
the
the
diamonds.
yeah, you use it when you make the scroll. So if you have the scroll, you're fine.
Yeah. Roll a d20 and add your +5 your spellcasting mod.
7.
He does not come back.
I'm gonna walk
How
over and
how
pull out the.
how nice do I feel? Because I could use a point of inspiration on that, but I only have one.
Not that nice.
Was that Megs, Lucy, or Penelope saying that?
Combination of all three, maybe.
I'm gonna use the point of inspiration and roll again,
Okay,
if that's all right.
that's fine.
That is an 18.
He still does not come back to life. He has been brought back to this point several times over the
Okay.
course of his long life.
And that still consumes the
It
scroll.
does still consume the scroll.
Okay.
Knowing him, this is probably just a copy.
Make an Arcana check.
Pull the
Wow.
disc out of the next. We'll go find the clone sleeve. It'll be fine.
23.
You know that some spells that clone or duplicate high level casters turn back to their original material when they die. And this is staying as a body.
So does this look like it's actually him, or
That roll, yeah, you're pretty sure.
well, this looks like him actually does. Not one of a clone like Mister runs off through a portal.
I guess I'll bring him back to life. I say as I pull the diamond out of my pocket that he made.
Okay.
And then I'll walk over and cast Revivify using that.
Roll a d20 and add your casting modifier to it.
16. So
Yeah.
probably not going to
Yeah,
work.
probably not. It does not work.
Would I or could I make a check of some kind to know like that's how the revivify spell works, that if you've been brought back too many times it gets harder and harder, and that's what's happening here?
I don't know what's higher if you have like good Arcana or Insight. What's higher? But you can roll
Arcana,
either.
because of my headband of intellect.
Okay, yeah, you can roll either of those, whichever is higher.
15 Arcana.
Yeah, you understand, being a paladin, that all forms of resurrection get harder the more you're brought back. It's harder to pull that piece that goes back through the veil.
So realizing for the moment, like taking a step back, thinking about where we are. We are in the palace, in the basement, in a room where nobody else is, and no one else can see us, with the Emperor's dead body. And this could be a problem unless we handle it correctly.
We do have a key to escape.
I'm not.
As I
Dad,
pull it out of my bag.
he was
Out of
supposed
my
to be
bucket.
a llama.
If we try to escape, then like we can just never come back here. Like here meaning this continent. So I think Alvin would just pick up Raynan's body and start walking out of the room and looking for someone
Okay.
to
Alright.
be like open and like, hey, this happened. We didn't do it.
Okay. Yeah, easy. with your strength and how, small he is as an elf who's, probably lived twice as long as an elf is supposed to, easy enough to do. As you guys head up, immediately up the stairs is the elevator.
Pan's gonna teleport back to the... Because she didn't walk in with them originally.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna teleport back to the keep.
Make a charisma saving throw for me.
Are you within 10 feet of Alvin when you do this?
I'm assuming not, because you're walking with the body at this point.
Okay.
I was going to say yes to be nice if you wanted to. If you wanted the bonus.
I mean, I'd like the bonus.
Go for it.
Sure.
That's not
Plus-
a bonus.
+5 and advantage.
You said wisdom?
Charisma.
Oh, okay, that's much better. So that's 7 plus your bonus is 12 plus 11 is 23.
So the teleport is successful, I will say that off the bat, but the rest of you see Penelope try to teleport out initially and kind of like flickers half in and half out before she's able to push through the magical anti-teleportation barriers that are in place in the prison that she's just barely able to get through to, and finally you hear the little pop and she's finally gone.
Fair enough.
Well, that's also a problem.
Wow.
She shouldn't be able to get through those.
So do I, like, on this floor between this room and the elevator, do I see anyone, or is it
So
just
at the
no
stairs is literally the elevator up to the rest of the prison. So it's literally just like the
Can we-
elevator platform to go up.
Yeah. Can we use the elevator and go up?
Yeah, you guys, went down it and saw how it was used. It's basically mind power. So yeah.
I just step onto it and think, like, go up to the ground floor.
You are, after thinking of and focusing on it a little for a brief second, elevator carries all of you up to the main floor where there are probably several dozen of the senior mages and members of the Mages Guild in Volaran. You recognize Secdog Gus's badges and stripes on some of them are there, and they immediately see the body.
I'll
And
just
kinda-
like I'll try to kind of cry out, making it sound like I'm in like distress. The Emperor is dead.
Oh no.
I have a really, really weird question. Are you
Sure.
trying to deceive them to make it sound like you're more upset than you are? Or are you just
Maybe
like informing them of what's happening as you guys are coming up the lift for the last
I
20
think
or
I
so
think in
feet?
this I think in this moment it's a genuinely stressful situation
Okay, yeah.
for Alvin. As a lifelong rule follower, he's like, oh shit, I don't want anybody to think that I killed the Emperor, even though he died in a room where there was no one else around. Like, so like, and this is kind of, I think, what he would do
Yeah.
to try to get, to try to head that off at the pass. Like, if I'm guilty, why am I bringing you the body?
Yeah, they show immediate concern with it. But you also get the look on their faces like they knew what was down there.
So these are the same. This is like the same organization of people that he had several members of doing the thing before, and they kind of know what's going on.
Yes, they knew what was down there. They knew you were down there for some length of time. But they do still have a look of surprise on his face that he is dead.
Something tells me he'll be back.
And they immediately grab the body from you.
I hand it over.
um, and like take it from you, and there's another couple that lead you guys down like a different path in the prison, because it does kind of expand here. There's the two sides, and kind of are trying to walk you away from where they're taking the body, which you would know Royce is back towards the first elevator that you all went up and back to the surface. As they lead you through past the rooms you guys saw on the way down here to the second elevator and take you all back up to the mansion.
But as they're leading us back to the elevator, can I just say, like, no, please, please let us stay. We were with him. We should be here to see this through. And I'll use my emissary of peace to get +5 on persuasion.
One of the older looking mages kind of pulls his hood down just when you talk to him. We understand, but there is a procedure in place should this happen, as he's been brought back several times before, which I assume a party of your strength has possibly discovered already. We're going to do our best, but there are procedures and rules in place here that we must follow.
Yeah,
We understand you do want to
I
see
think
it through, and because of that,
I think
and because you were with him, we may ask you after a bit to stay in the palace through a minor inquiry.
of course, whatever you need.
All right. I hope
Okay, Odahan.
I hope that's understandable.
Alvin really wants to stay, but once he's informed that there's a procedure in place, it's like, nope, that's his kryptonite. He's gonna follow the procedure.
And they'll lead you up the second elevator and down a different hallway in the palace into like a sitting room. And an automaton will almost immediately bring in a tray that has tea on it for all of you. And they will leave you there.
I look at the tea, put it down, and like push it a little away.
The automaton in
Yeah.
the corner that dropped it off kind of comes to life a little bit when you do that. Is there something more suitable I can get you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, and immediately just goes back into rest mode.
Yeah, I think Alvin will accept the tea, but he's not gonna drink it. I don't think. I don't know that he suspects it of anything, but he's not. He's not in the mood for tea right now.
Yeah, I'm not doing the tea thing either.
It's not. It's not his post game. It's like, oh, that was so stressful. I really need some tea. No. If they offered whiskey, maybe.
Okay. And you guys are in this room for a while. If there's anything you all would like to discuss.
Is everyone all right?
I don't know. Something's still fishy about this whole situation.
Well, it's like you said. I'm sure he has a whole storage locker full of clones, and he'll be back before you know it. I don't know. It's as odd as this is. Just, and we could leave. I mean, we could just
I don't know.
conjure the doorway and get out of here. But I think that would make it worse.
I think that would make it worse as well.
It will make it worse.
Well, anybody read any good books lately?
Nope.
Fortunately, I don't think any of us have had time to read books. Two Gods.
When do you think was the last time in like history where a group of people killed two separate gods?
Good question.
I have no idea. But it can't be common, right?
No way it's common.
As I said, this whole situation is just a little messed up.
This is Lily, and
While we're sitting there,
Yeah.
so are we ruling, did I use my emissary of peace
I will say
back
no because
there?
it wasn't really a situation that required a persuasion.
Okay. Then I will use my channel divinity now to do harness divine power
Okay.
to get a third level spell slot back, and then I'll use it to cast Aura of Vitality,
Right.
which is for the next minute or 10 rounds. I can roll 2d6 every round and heal someone within 30 feet of me by that much. So I'm rolling 2d6 10 times. So who needs it the most?
Start with the ladies.
I'll be okay.
There's only one lady here.
Oh, that's right. She
And you're
baffed.
you're pretty high, it looks like.
I am, because I didn't get hit by anything.
Let's look at everyone. Okay. Yeah, no, Royce, Bael, and me are the ones who need it.
I could cast another 4th level
All right, I'm doing this first. Royce, you heal 11. That's 1. This will be Royce again. You heal another 4. That's 2.
Why he's doing
Royce,
that? Right. Can I ritual cast prayer of healing 4th level?
Royce again. You heal another 11.
Not a ritual
That's
spell.
3. Then I will heal 7. That is 4. This will be me again for another 7. And that's 5. So me again. 6. Me one more time. 9. All right, Royce. This is number 8. You heal 10. So number 9 will be me again. I heal 8. And the 10th and final one will be Bael. You heal 7.
Thank you. While he's doing this the whole time, will be spending 10 minutes for the prayer.
Yeah,
It's not a
it's
ritual.
not a ritual cast, but it does take 10 minutes to cast. So you'll still have to use a spell slot if you have one.
I got after this. I have 1/4 level left.
Okay.
Everyone gets 35. And who's still low?
Take anybody. I don't know.
I think Lucy's fine, and the rest of us should be like just above half or right around half.
Royce, take the 1d8 plus 6.
It'll be another 12.
Hell yeah. After about 2 hours of you guys sitting in the room, healing up, kind of pondering what could be going on, who has a passive perception of 21 or higher?
I do.
I got a 21 and 26 and a 12.
Okay, what perception's 21, correct?
27.
Okay. No, I meant by L. 21 is perception.
Right.
Yeah, and then 26 is inside. Lucy and Bael, after about 2 hours and some change, you notice that you have a visitor in the room. A little tiny mouse in one of the corners, about halfway up a chair leg.
We have a furry friend?
Hello, little one.
Alvin thinks Lucy's talking about herself at first because she does have fur. So it's like, yeah.
I point to the corner.
The chair, dear.
Oh, you mean another one?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have said we if it was just if I was referring to me. The mouse isn't in my pocket.
Does it look like anything other than a regular mouse to me?
make a general intelligence check.
14.
I was gonna say anybody can as well too. They want to try for it.
16.
Okay. The eyes look vaguely familiar, but you can't quite place them.
Usually, when you make a general intelligence check and you say what the result is, and then Rai says, anybody can do this, that means you failed. I've learned that.
You. Well, I was gonna say if anybody else wanted to try and
Yeah.
recognize them, but
It's like, make a general intelligence check. 14. Pause.
so anybody else?
Anybody else can try.
Yeah. I didn't
Yep,
want to
I
say it was
failed.
just him trying to recognize this person.
No, that's totally fine.
Essentially, the eyes look vaguely familiar. Before fully goes up the leg and into the chair, and pops out of wild shape.
Who dis?
Who are you?
You've seen this former associate of the Mages Guild before they healed you.
Is it the redhead?
It is with long, flowing, curly red hair and deep green eyes. It is, in fact, Araine, who used to be on the Mages Council.
The
Is
one
this
by
Willem's friend who healed us before the Vecna fight?
Who healed you before you went in the tower, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what sort of trouble have you gotten yourselves into now?
Oh, fancy seeing you here.
They
Oh,
invited me this time.
you know, killing Vecna, killing Fairstone.
Another day, another god.
I was there for Vecna, I remember.
No, the trouble has been taken care of and solved. Unfortunately, it killed our beloved emperor in the process, and the guild have whisked his body away to do whatever it is they do with it, and we're supposed to stay here for questioning, and being in this room
Yeah.
sucks, but leaving would be way worse. So here we are.
That's very true. They've summoned me here on some sort of business just a couple hours ago. Luckily, I was still in the area. Sneaking about and heard you lot.
Sorry, could we say, backing up for a sec, while we're sitting here for a couple hours in this room, that we're also getting a short rest
Yes,
in?
you guys can absolutely get a short rest in as well.
Okay. So then after the short rest, I get my channel divinity back. So I'll
Yes.
use it to harness divine power again and um do another aura of vitality. I'm just gonna roll the dice and we can split it up after the fact so it goes faster.
All right.
I'm actually going to use second wind before the short rest, if that's okay.
Perfect.
And I will do another prayer. Third level.
Okay.
'19 to everyone. And Alvin, if you're not topped off, 1d8 plus 6.
All right.
All right. Viel, heal 27. Lucy, heal 19.
Lucy's full.
I'm full.
Sorry. Hang on, let me refresh these. Okay. And how much did we all heal from the prayer of healing?
19. And you get the 1d8 plus 6.
All right, I rolled a 2, so I heal another 8. All right. I'm taking all of this aura of vitality then, it looks like.
All right.
Mm, Yeah, yeah, the aura of vitality was a total of 65.
Cool. So I think everybody's full or within 5 points of full now, right?
I'm at
Um,
Yeah.
181 out of 202.
Okay.
hang on, I only need 57. So Bael take 8.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm 164 out of 169, so I'm not worried about that.
All righty.
So yeah, everyone's full.
Yeah. Before Willem called me and told me to come here, I hadn't talked to Rainan in 80 years or more. Interested in why they called me back now.
I think it's possible that now that Willem has taken his leave of this world, perhaps Rainan's trying to make a move and get Willem's allies on his side. It's what I would do.
But they inquired about my presence, judging from the time you've spent here, after they discovered he had fallen.
He may have fallen, but they're going to bring him back again.
No. When evil gods are loose in your basement, it does make for strange bedfellows, I suppose.
That is true, and he was a cleric of Io, I believe, if my memory serves me right. Looking at you, Bael,
I am a
intently.
cleric. I am a cleric of IO.
You should know that it gets harder and harder to pull the pieces of you back together.
That's why I didn't attempt to revive him. I don't have the strength to do it.
There are those here that do, and I imagine they're trying.
Yeah, we tried a few times.
I imagine I should get back to my sitting room where they try and find me elsewhere.
Are you in the same situation we're in, just sitting around waiting to be questioned?
They had some information that they wanted to share with me,
Well, that's nice of them.
and I believe it possibly is related to our situations. I'll try and
Well,
keep
when
you
we all get
informed.
yeah, when we all get out of this, come meet us in Wilseen.
Of course.
We're the only people who live in town right now. You can't miss us.
Good to know. Kind of like shrinks back, like animorphs back into a mouse, and scurries down the leg and back through like a crack in the floorboard without making a sound.
A handy talent.
You guys have been conversation. You guys are waiting for a little bit longer. Probably about 30 or 40 minutes. Probably you've been waiting for almost a total of 3 hours now. You see the sun slowly starting to go down, and then a little bit faster because it is, fall, before they finally knock on the door, and one of the more armored mages you saw earlier kind of comes in and sits in one of the chairs in the corner.
Alvin will just sit there attentively.
So, my main question to you all is that the threat in the basement has been taken care of.
Yes and no.
Probably the main threat appears to have been taken care of when it well, I didn't really see what happened after it.
When it exploded, a shadowy, shady kind of presence went up through the ceiling.
But the physical avatar was destroyed.
The body was destroyed, yes. It exploded downstairs.
Of our knowledge of the gods is somewhat limited, as they have not walked this plane in near 3,000 years, is that they have to go beyond and reform for some time. So that would indicate that, yes, the problem in the basement has been solved.
Goody.
How long as some time?
From our limited knowledge of the previous age of heroes, upwards of 1,200 years. At most. Some returned as fast as 100.
No.
But
Well, a part of me wants to say it'll be somebody else's problem when that happens, but I've got to think there's got to be a way to make it more permanent.
I was just about to say the point would be moot if the Destiny's Gate was closed.
Yes, I suppose that should be our next task, is figuring out how to close it.
Yes, that would be most helpful indeed.
There has to be some information about this somewhere.
Well, we've been to a whole bunch of libraries, and it's a good place to start.
Yes, it is getting late. We do have some items to get to tomorrow mid-morning, if you all would like a room here the evening.
What is it that you need to know?
Well, mostly the threat was
We
extinguished.
we would just as soon get home and start looking into this Destiny Gate and start taking care of the next thing rather than being, no offense, but bogged down in bureaucracy.
Understandable. Um, you would have access to the library here within the palace, and the mage's library for research this evening.
You still haven't told us why we're staying. You've told us that we're staying, and you've said understandable when we expressed our desire to not stay.
I am
But why are we staying, though?
I am quite awful at this. We don't do this often, if ever, as someone that is bogged down in bureaucracy. You are well aware of what happened to the Mage Emperor earlier today,
Hmm.
and our clerics are currently actively still working on that situation, which is why we would want you to stay.
To do what? What's the purpose of us staying if we're just gonna stay shut in a room?
Well, you wouldn't be shut in the room. You'd have access to the library and the Mages Guild library, and you'd be free to walk around the city.
We understand that we would have some limited freedom. Thank you for that. Why are we staying? What is it that you need us to do?
Well, we would like you to get started on the Destiny's Gate problem here while you're here, and we do
Right,
have resources here for that.
but that's this is absolutely a place with resources where we could get started if we choose to. There are several other very um, very well appointed libraries that we've been to that we'd also like to explore. And where we choose to begin our search is our own business. So again, why do you need us to stay?
It is possible that overnight or in the morning there'll be other mages that would have questions about what happened.
What if we just tell you what happened? And then if they have questions, you can tell them.
He'll kind of like poof out a notebook. That would be most helpful, but they still might want to ask you the questions directly.
Then they can come to us and ask them.
We have nothing to hide.
But we understand you have nothing to hide, and we're not trying to make it seem like you are prisoners or wanted in connection to this. We would just prefer you to stay within the
No,
city.
why ever would we think that? Look, we want to be helpful. We really do. If you have questions, I'm confident someone in your guild knows the sending spell. We're not hard to reach. But in the meantime, we've got shit to do. So if we're not under arrest, if we're not under suspicion of anything,
Of course
we
not.
would just as soon get to it.
Fair enough, I suppose.
We don't wish to be a burden, and we feel like we've used up plenty of your hospitality already.
Yes, that was quite a lunch.
Indeed.
All right, well, if you all feel the need to go, I'll take an official statement on what happened and report it to the higher ups, and that will be that, I guess.
Sure, and I'll busy myself giving giving them the official statement from all of us and what was happening and
Okay. So, at the end of it, from what you've described, it was the actual desiccation of the body of Thera's Dune that ultimately caused what happened.
well, I didn't actually see what caused him to fall because I also fell around the same time.
All
It
right.
Um,
was it was several waves of explosions from his body.
Okay.
Force damage, fire damage. It was not pleasant.
Like the body breaking apart in like a fire explosion, so like a shockwave, and then
It was like a
kind of
double, almost triple shockwave in a way.
that's unfortunate way to go, but I appreciate your time.
And please do be in touch about what the result of your efforts is. If he, if you are able to bring him back, we'd like to know that so we can.
We'll say it is odd this time. Going into the situation, he forewent using a clone of himself.
Why do you think he did that?
I don't know.
I kind of figured he probably did.
He did it often, but this time he didn't.
Does it strike you as odd that he would choose not to do it this time when he had a fight with a god imminent?
No, he's taken the failure with the ley lines in Vecna quite seriously, so I thought maybe he was just going to go in with his sharpest wit or something to get back into, whatever.
So you don't believe he was suicidal?
I wouldn't call it suicidal. He has lived almost double that of a normal elf.
Do you think maybe he just thought it was time to go and he wanted to go out in the most badass way possible or something like that?
It's entirely possible that he just got tired of it all.
I have
If
a
they don't
que-
bring him back, of course.
I have a question.
And of course, none of this leaves this room.
No, of
Don't,
course, of
don't think I have to
course.
tell you that. I'm sorry, what was that?
I have a couple questions.
Certainly.
One, how many times has he actually been brought back to life?
As far as we're aware, in combats and actions during the rise of the Laren Empire, he was brought back at least 6 times that we know of. But we do not have records going back through the Mages Council.
Alright. Second one. From his first death up to his last one, not this one, but has his
Previous.
demeanor, attitude, all that changed at all? Like, has anything shifted?
He's gotten older and not as sharp, but I wouldn't call it a decline
No, no, I
or
mean
anything
not
like
a
that.
decline like that. I mean, like, has he gone from, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Changes in personality.
No,
yes.
no, nothing of
Sudden
nothing.
sudden ones, not like aging, but like he dies, he comes back and he's like a different person.
I mean, he's certainly come back grumpier, but that only lasts for a few days.
Well, keep us posted.
It will do.
Now, is there anything else that you need us for, or are we getting
I mean,
anything, or whatever?
we have rooms prepared for you here in the castle if you all would like to stay and use our library resources here first. But other than that,
All right, we'll discuss it.
certainly. Again, thank you for your statement and your time.
Thank you for your service.
Kind of bow out of the room. And do like a bow as they close the door.
Well, this day just keeps getting weirder.
I don't know. I have a feeling that he's gonna come back even more angrier, more power hungry.
Well, it would be hard to imagine him getting less power hungry at this point, but so what do we think? Do we want to start our research here? Do we want to go to
I said we use the books as much as as possible.
I mean we've got um but I mean we've got there's here there's so there's the library here, there's the library of Ayun in Lara, and there's the other library of Ayun way up in the frozen wastes.
I think we could probably learn more here because he has gathered more over the years.
I'm fine with staying here and just seeing if seeing what's here. And if it's enough, then great. If not, then we can head to one of those other places. But I would prefer to get a room in town rather than in the palace. Just I don't trust this place. People are going to be watching us all the time.
It's very true.
Plus, I have a feeling, Roy.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
I have a feeling, Royce. We're probably not going to have to pay for drinks in the city.
I have a very good feeling we won't either.
And they only know about one of the gods.
That is true.
But we shouldn't tell them about the other one. Let them find that out on their own.
Telling
I,
them is stupid, so I agree.
I don't think they'll ever find out, to be honest, because
If
it
they
was
don't, they
contained.
hey, if they don't, they don't. I mean, I don't need to cover myself in glory, but also if you offer me a free drink, I'm probably gonna take it.
Only if it's before noon, though.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's afternoon, yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to leave and go find a place within the city?
Yeah.
Okay. How fancy, unfancy, specific district? What are you guys thinking?
Honestly, I don't think it matters. Everybody knows who we are.
It's true.
Somewhere nice.
Yeah, somewhere with a nice, yeah, nice, because we deserve it. I
Yeah.
hate being pampered.
Not too nice.
Not too nice.
I'm still a man of the people.
Nicer than a dive slum bar that
Yeah,
we've been living in now.
Okay.
yeah. Like we're not staying at like the Ritz. We're not staying at like the Best Western. Like find like a solid mid-tier like Marriott.
I actually
That
have the
works.
perfect place in mind. It's a legacy
Outstanding.
bar. It's a legacy bar from the old Elven district, which is now known as Old Valeran. And it is a tavern called the Eagle. And there's a rumor here, and there's a placard over a table. As you all walk in and find it, as they pull you in the door to haunt their establishment as soon as you guys get near it, because they want you here. In back corner near your table, there's a placard, kind of nondescript and small, that talks about this is the place where the group of heroes that helped vanquish Tiamat got their first meal after she was felled here within the city.
Oh, well then we're happy to carry on the tradition.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to that spot and see if there's any names carved in.
There's some initials carved in below the plaque, but you don't know if. But there are no names on the actual plaque itself. You'd notice this is also a high enough end establishment that they do have a full bar behind the bartender of different liquors and wines and beers and things to choose from. An assortment. And as you all enter and see this and the plaque and everything, people are immediately trying to hand drinks to you all of different colors. And
I'm gonna start taking them.
Colors and smells. Of course.
I love how we're weary of the tea in the palace, but random people just hand us shit we don't know what it is and we just drink it.
I'm gonna start drinking them after I smell them.
Alcohol.
So if they gave us alcohol at the palace, you wouldn't have been as weary as of the fucking tea?
I would have drank
Yeah,
it.
after that fight, I want some alcohol.
So
I
how
don't
many of
want
the drinks
tea.
that are handed to you do you drink, Royce?
Well, I'm gonna smell the first one before I drink it.
Make an investigation check.
All right. Look, I'm not just gonna drink them all. I mean, yeah. 15.
That smells like alcohol. It smells like a mixed drink.
All right, let's drink it.
Okay. Make 3 constitution. I'm kidding. Bad taste pretty
Alvin
good.
Alvin doesn't take any of the drinks, but he'll shake everybody's hand who wants to shake his hand.
Yeah.
And whatever the fantasy equivalent of like posing for a selfie is, he'll do that as much as he's asked.
Yeah.
Um
Shaking
he'll
hands and kissing
autograph
babies.
stuff.
Shaking
if
hands and kissing
people want.
babies, yeah.
Yeah. And then when we do finally get to the bar, he'll just order their best bottle of wine and 2 glasses.
Bartender will just put it up on the counter and slide over 2 glasses.
Pour one for Lucy, one for me, and
I'm gonna
cheers.
keep my mind clear just in case. I'm gonna have either juice or milk.
Or a banana, right?
They got plenty of juices to mix with other stuff behind the bar, so
Make me a suicide juice drink. No alcohol.
okay. Just takes a little bit of all the juice down the counter and kind of puts it in front of you.
Add some like bananas too, please.
I don't have back here. What do you think this is?
I got it. I pull out a thing of bananas.
Jesus. Anyways.
And I actually peel this and cut the bananas and put them in the drink.
The bar.
To the bartender, I'll just say, sorry, if we're here more than a couple days, you'll get used to him.
Cool. I figured as much. Also, if you go to any of the tables to sit down and relax and a waitress tries to charge you for anything, just tell them no. Cool? Cool. Goes back into the bar to pour somebody else a drink.
I feel like we're still gonna leave him a good bit of money. I can't take
Oh,
free drinks all
For
like
sh-
not
no, for sure. They're getting a huge tip.
What about food?
just the
I'm
tip though.
starving.
But a really big one.
Take a point. Take a point.
You set us up right.
Also, Megs, did you take a point for that thing earlier?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I saw you mouth it.
Good, because I didn't
While
want
you
to.
were
I didn't
laughing.
want to interrupt. So yeah. There's not really food being served here, but occasionally, like street vendors will come in with like a tray of like skewers stuck in something and come in and sell them. Got like different roast vegetables on skewers, fish on skewers, like a seasoned meat that's been put on a skewer and grilled. They'll come in and sell them for various and sundry prices occasionally and wander through the different bars in the area.
I think Alvin's just sitting there enjoying his wine and enjoying the people watching and
I am gonna buy some of the
Okay,
for the table.
cool.
Just so the vendors can be like, we bought their food. Big honor since we have all these drinks that are free.
Yeah. You buy like one, they hand you two.
I'm starving. I'm buying the whole thing.
Yeah. So there's roast corn skewers, there's eggplant skewers, there's fish skewers, and then there is the cooked chuck skewers, and then there are also like chicken thigh skewers too that come through over the first like hour you guys are there.
Killing gods makes you hungry.
yeah, I'll just have some of whatever ends up in front of me.
Cool. If you're gonna
You
buy the
guys,
entire tray at a time, Bile, it's 10 gold. Is what
I,
they tell you.
No problem. I have 190 gold spare to spend.
I was gonna say I think get more than that, but
Well, no, I do. In gold wise, I have 190, now 180.
mm,
Always keep a spare gold and silver on you.
okay. Yeah, and you get with your passive perception, Alvin. Like there are legit people that are like watching you and everything you guys do and drink. And if like there's leftover skewers, you guys go because you bought them. They try and buy them out like super quick. Like, oh, they ate that. I want to eat that. Like, there is some serious hero worship going on in this place right now.
it's good. We're helping out small businesses at the same time.
Yeah.
that stuff's all gonna end up on fantasy eBay later.
Fantasy Costco, Fantasy Costco. Are you guys gonna stay at the bar? Or are you gonna move over to a table?
Let's sit at the table where the heroes at.
Yeah, people have been avoiding that table since you've arrived, thinking you were going to move there eventually.
I'm actually, as we walk over, going to point at the plaque and say, I think we need one of those here too.
You hear the bartender over the crowd. Yeah, okay.
Alvin will. I'm just following the others.
Okay.
Wherever we're going is fine.
Alright.
Do they have like a really nice corner booth area that'll fit all of us?
Yeah, that's kind of like where you guys are at. Like they have two corner booths in the back. One of them has the plaque, and then there's like the other one. So you guys are at that now, essentially. And it's kind of like up like two stairs, so you can kind of see like the entire tavern as a whole, like kind of seeing what you guys are drinking, trying to see if they can get it, looking at like people coming in and pushing their way in to try and get a glimpse of you guys in town.
Anyone trying a weird drink I have?
Make a perception check.
With advantage, I have a 30 total.
Okay. No, but they're no, not really.
Damn.
Yeah, people seem to be mostly mixing in juices with alcohol.
Um, once uh, once Alvin's probably a couple drinks in, he'll stand up to give like a little speech
Okay.
to the crowd, and I'll thank them all for coming and for the warm welcome and all that, and I'll just end by saying we're the group that was once known as Sawyer's Seven, even though there are fewer of us today than there used to be. And we'll make you a solemn promise now that whenever something is threatening your safety, your security, or your freedom, we'll be there.
And there's a lot of drunken, happy applause. Kind of goes through the bar.
I'm gonna take 100 platinum out of my bags and
Alvin,
like
as you're finishing your speech, make a perception check for me.
16, passive 17.
Okay, thank you. All right, Maurice.
And yeah, it was 100% my intention to start some shit by specifically saying freedom.
Yeah, there are definitely there's some ripples going through the crowd.
Good.
I'm gonna
Most-
take 100.
Mostly excitement at you guys.
I'm gonna take 100 platinum out of my bags and just start handing out pieces to people that are there, just as a gesture to go with Alvin's little speech.
Okay, both you guys make persuasion checks.
Dirty 20. I rolled a 19.
23.
Okay. Yeah, these they've already loved you guys for the Vecna thing, but you guys being in town and being out among them in not the section that is controlled by the Mages Guild, but being in Old Valeran, it means something to them for you guys to be out here. After you guys are done handing out platinum pieces, I need everyone to make a perception check.
Passive 17.
Okay.
Passive 27.
Hi,
What, Bile?
I rolled a 27 with advantage.
Okay.
23.
Lucy and Bael is Royce and Alvin finish handing out the platinum coins Royce pulled out. You all see a familiar, very dark blue robe in the crowd. Head, the hood completely covered over, just a little bit of this reddish hair with little kinds of strands of gray in it, kind of moving through the crowd.
I look over and like nod.
At the person,
Yeah.
you see one kind of golden eye look up at you and look down and disappear back into the crowd. That's where we're going to take our break. See you guys back here in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back already. super quick break as the person was approaching you guys through the crowd. Bael, you saw him disappear to your right. Like you were looking to your right when you saw him. From the left side, from the opposite side, sliding into the chair at the front of your table is the cloaked individual as he sits down.
How can we help you?
Did you miss me?
With every magic missile. I mean, what?
So, I've heard you've done a little bit of dirty work. Taking out Thera's Dune.
To be done.
Of course it did. Is there anything else I
When
should be made aware of that's happening over on this side of everything?
The Emperor died.
Maybe, maybe not. We're not sure yet.
Interesting.
well, he
Well, he
he
died,
definitely
yes.
definitely factually died. It's just a matter of whether the mages can bring him back.
I don't think with the
It's
gate
been quite an
open.
eventful couple of days.
I don't think with the gate open, Mistra's going to let him go, unfortunately. They need all the help they can get on the other side. I imagine that's what you're going to work on next.
How to get the gate closed, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lovely pickle you left us in.
I figured the Mages Guild had Thera's Dune handled. I knew they knew where he was. Didn't know they'd rope you all into it.
I
And
don't.
what about this gate being open? Explain to us how that's not your fault.
So, in the process of ascension, the last step is the gate closing. So if you stop them in the middle of the ascension, the gate stays open. It can be closed later, but...
So it's our fault.
Well, you didn't know. So I guess that makes it my fault.
So how does one close this gate?
Well, last time, after I agreed to stay on the other side of it, all the gods put their magic together and closed it.
Veritas doesn't seem to think that's an option right now.
Of course she doesn't.
To listen to her, she seems to think that nobody has any idea how to get this closed. Even the gods.
She would say that to you. Because what they want to have happen is they want to return to this plane. They want followers to see them walking amongst themselves as these 40-foot tall avatars, get more followers, regain power, and then hopefully not blow everything to shit like last time. But let me tell you, you get 44 gods on a planet, shit goes sideways.
Yeah, it doesn't seem ideal.
No.
I mean, gods are great, but man, if they were here, that would get pretty nasty pretty quickly.
Certainly. How's the pocket dimension treating you?
Very well.
Good.
Saved us from death from your little snafu.
I figured I'd leave it to somebody who could actually use it.
Tell you
So
what,
essentially, what you're telling me is that there is a way to close the gate. The gods all have to combine their powers
Agree to do it.
and do it together,
Yes.
but they don't want to because they secretly want to leave it open.
And so that they can get more followers, regain power, get
Sure, sure.
stronger, and then maybe eventually close it? I
So,
have no idea.
so how do we close it without the gods' participation?
That's what I'm working on.
That's what we were about to start working on.
I'm sure Ayun and some other people have some ideas, but
Are there a list of like gods that you trust with this? Gods who are actually trying to find a solution?
Ioun, for one. Green Goddess, maybe. Mistra might be interested in closing it too, but we'd have to see.
So where do you suggest we start?
Any library of Ioun.
Of Ioun. So not the Mages Guild library, but like
Well, the Mages Guild have
go
taken
to
books from the various and sundry ones all over this planet. They might have books
okay.
from them that might be helpful too, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll take a look.
If they've given you access.
They have.
Hmm.
Turns out killing a god that's loose in their basement has basically resulted in them owing us a favor. Not a bad spot to be in
You sure it
for the
doesn't?
time being.
You sure it's not because of what comes next?
Oh, it's of course it's because of what comes next, but for now, they're letting us into the library.
Good. If they're giving you access now, I would take it now.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll see what we can find, and then after that, we'll go to Lara or the Frozen Wastes, or
Yes.
So have you brought us any new toys as we get old?
Unfortunately, I haven't. Bringing material goods through the gate is still a little iffy.
so what brings you back?
Mostly curiosity. Seeing Thayer's dune up there got weird.
I can imagine.
Yeah, wasn't exactly a family reunion.
Wasn't necessarily fun for us either, though.
What other evil gods are down here that we might have to take care of?
Let me think about that for a second, because I know there's at least a couple. Um, I assume you all know about Tiamat still being here.
Yeah,
We
there's an
we
essence
saw
in
the
the vault.
we saw the gem where Raynon was keeping her soul.
And he has like an orb of annihilation in there too.
Hmm.
Well, he's got a bunch of stuff down there that really shouldn't be allowed to exist on this plane. And that can't possibly come back to bite everyone in the ass.
I mean, he's not evil, but Kelmvor is still on this plane, so those are the only two I can think of.
None hiding on the moon.
I mean, like, Saloon controls it, but I don't think she's actually up there. Last I checked. Good idea. Good call though. Actually had to make me think for a second.
So what are we looking for in these libraries? I mean, I doubt these there will be a book just that's titled all about the Destiny Gate, or that it'll show up in an index somewhere. What do we
No
look for?
Destiny Gate for dummies.
The Complete Idiot's Guide to Killing Gods.
Oh, is that going to be your autobiography? I'd read it. You are looking
No,
for extremely old texts. Anything written from this side of the Destiny's Gate is 3,000 plus years old at this point.
I'm afraid my autobiography will be something a lot more sappy than that, but you'll probably hate.
Who says I don't like sappy?
You? in all of our many experiences with you.
Touche. But you all got this, hopefully. And I'll keep doing work on my end.
Yeah.
But if you see the gods, unless I specifically tell you to trust them, don't trust them as far as you can throw them, which isn't very far.
You want to bet?
And they're like 50 feet tall. They'll crush you.
I have the strength of a storm giant.
Death by snoo snoo? Something like that.
But anyway, yeah, we'll get on it, see what we can find.
Oh, very, very, very
Are you
important
gonna are you
thing.
gonna be are you gonna be on this plane for a while?
Maybe. We'll see what happens. I can
Yeah,
travel back and forth more freely than some of the others since I've been here more recently.
yeah, just if you find anything, you know how to find us, and we know how to at least try to find you. We'll see if it works.
I have a very, very, very important thing, which is actually why I came here and I just remembered it. Brain fart. If you come across any of the gods that touch the artifacts you have, do not let them touch it.
Why?
It has a portion of their power and they can take it back.
Good to
How,
know.
how can we tell we've run into one?
And they're not all sneaky like me. In fact, I think I might be the only one who can blend in their avatar form. I don't know. Did Erithus or anybody else come down?
I think this. Well, I yeah, Erithus came down after the Vecna fight, but before all of this, and
What, like 30 feet tall?
yeah,
Yeah, they're most they do that. They won't sneak around to get their power back.
um,
Actually, it's kind of like
yeah, no,
vampires.
just
They have to ask you to get it back. I guess,
it's odd
maybe.
because Erithus is the one who told me about this Destiny Gate being open. She told me to go that we needed to go look for a way to close it. Well, why would she tell me that if she were secretly trying to keep it open? Wouldn't the smarter thing be to just not say anything? She is really good at not saying things.
That is interesting. And mildly confusing, but it's entirely possible. Now, so gods get their powers from followers across all the different
Mhm.
planes. If you were to stay on this side in your avatar form and close off the rest of them and get an entire planet to follow you, how powerful do you think you'd be? Or you and a couple of your buddies?
So you think Erithus is trying to get the gate closed. She's just trying to get on this side of it before it closes so that she can gather power unfettered
And I
here.
think every single god would do the same thing, to be fair.
Present company excluded.
I mean, I've done it once, it wasn't that fun. I've been here for 3,000 years. How much power did I accrue? I was living in a sewer. But, and obviously present company excluded, but every god would do it. You don't want to end up
So
a
it's
husk out in the astral sea.
sure. So it's just us against the entire pantheon. No big deal.
Well, not the entire pantheon.
Most of it.
I'm sure there's a lot that aren't trying to get through. Just the major ones. Maybe.
Oh. Yeah, that is worrisome. I guess we'll see what we can find.
Indeed.
Do you want a drink?
No, I think I'm going to go freak out some dwarves or something. They haven't seen me in like 2,000 years.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see the look on their faces.
I should take a picture. It'll last longer. Anyways, and I'll pull the hood cloak back up. And even though you're looking at him, you look through him when he pulls the hood of the cloak up. It's very weird. And kind of disappears back into the crowd.
I can just picture him making the first like Polaroid and then taking the first selfie with the dwarves.
And as he disappears, I'll just whisper under my breath, "Gone with the wind." You okay, Rai Rai?
Oh, I was like on the not in the top 10 things I was expecting. Take a point.
Everybody else is like, "What's the big deal?" That was like a B
Oh,
minus joke.
God. Dude, it's one of my favorite movies, so like that was a really fucking good reference. Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, let's just not talk about how much I laughed with his Baja Blasted earlier, okay?
Yeah.
Terrence is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, woman?" I'm like, "You should know. You've been dating me for 9 years."
Anywho.
Well, I like that I can selectively make each of you laugh with shit that isn't that funny.
That was, to me, that was very funny. But anyway. How do you like to spend the rest of your guys' evening?
Was it inspiration funny?
Yeah, I said take a point.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Well, how would you guys like to spend the rest of your evening?
Well, I mean that's me and Lucy's business. I don't think that's appropriate for you to be asking.
Jesus.
I want to see if there's any like plays or musicals going on.
Okay. I was gonna wander out into the streets.
Yeah, no, if you're wandering out, I'll be like, just you know, watch your back. Don't stay out too late.
Yes, Daddy.
Yeah. There are some street troops
Bael,
performing.
Bael,
Oh, sorry.
Bael, you are not the one who's calling me daddy tonight.
I think he just did. And I don't think he's taking it back.
God damn it.
Party dad.
Do I get an allowance, Daddy? Because he just chuckles and walks out.
There are some like street troops performing on various and sundry street corners and in kind of like little tiny square areas, but there's not really like a musical theater or theater going on this evening that isn't already, actively going on and has the doors closed.
I'll keep my wits about myself. I
Okay.
mean, I can't be surprised or anything, anyways.
Yeah.
But I'll enjoy myself, and if tip them, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I cannot find my map. Take out the however much you're gonna tip them.
How many people are performing?
Oh, between the musical troops, you see, there's like a couple like quartets, like 2 or 3 different quartets on various and sundry street corners around the tavern.
All right, I will see if I can sneakily place 10 platinum in each of their things.
Okay, so 30 platinum total, 10 for each troop, or 10 per person per troop.
10 per person.
So that's 120 platinum. And just make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh gosh.
Nothing too high.
15.
Hmm. They see you putting coins in and kind of like nod, but they definitely, because they're in the middle of performing, judging by how they react, probably think it's silver.
From the color.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna tip us platinum, kind of attitude.
When they nod and I look up, I just wink and walk away.
Okay. Well, he's out of the tavern doing that for about an hour and a half. What are the rest of you all doing?
I guess Daddy and I are going upstairs.
Just grab the rest of the bottle of wine off the table as I hurry upstairs after Lucy.
Yeah, bartender throws you a key.
Daddy wasn't there.
Take me to the fair. I rewatched that movie the other day. Oh my god, it does not hold up. Oh.
Right. There are two kinds of people I can't stand.
What?
People who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
Ned.
Other than that one line, nothing in that movie is particularly good.
No, there is a really, really, really good thing in that movie I just discovered yesterday, which is why I this weekend, which is why I rewatched it. Whenever there is a shot of Michael Caine from when Austin and Dr. Evil are like babies, it's from actual movies he was in the 60s.
Oh, really?
Yes. They didn't de-age him for it. They used B-roll and reaction shots from a bunch of different movies. So that's why when the car explodes and it shows all his different emotional states where it cuts back to him all the time, that's why the field behind him is different in every single one of those shots.
That's funny.
Yeah, so Royce
Anyway.
is now alone at a table in the bar. Or the tavern.
Not for long.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sleep.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant
Not
you
gonna
were
keep
like,
drinking.
you were kind of try to pick up a bar wench for the evening. I was
No, I
like,
don't
hell
need a hooker.
yeah, go Royce.
All right, let me go to Xanathar's.
I mean, you probably don't have to pay.
I wouldn't have to. I mean, we're a hero.
Xanathar's Guide, Carousing. Got it.
Carousing.
Is that what it is?
Not prostitutes, just like you wake up in a pile of like 4 women who are all there completely consensually.
Exactly.
Because you're a goddamn hero. Like, live your best life.
I don't want Baal to judge me.
He's been judging all of us since the start of the campaign. That's hardly ever stopped us.
Anyways, Bael, when you come back, everybody's gone to their rooms. The barkeep will like flick you a key.
Do you have any snacks? Like pie or whatever?
Look underneath the bar and hold up like half a watermelon that they didn't juice for tonight.
God.
I will give them.
Oh no. No is the answer.
I'll give them 2 gold pieces.
Okay. All right. Good night. And yeah, Bart's still kind of a little packed. And you'll get a lovely night's sleep. You guys can hit the long rest button.
I'll
And
get up and
in
do my
the
morning routine.
cool. In the morning, as you're about to get up to do your routine, there is a knock on your door and all of your doors as they're delivering breakfast to you all.
Ours has a doormat in front of it that says, "Hold on, we're probably not wearing pants."
And as the person walks in with breakfast, I think we'll sit up in the bed, and it's one of those L-shaped sheets that's in every sitcom that comes up to Lucy's chest, but only up to Alvin's waist.
That's like the third time you made that joke, and I appreciate it
Somehow.
every time.
It's
I
it's
appreciate it
good.
every
It's a
time.
good joke.
It's a great joke, even.
You know what? It's far from the number of times that has been in sitcoms. So
That's true.
I'll keep making that
And
joke.
yeah, and so it's like a couple different eggs done a couple different ways, some toast, sausage and bacon, coffee, orange juice. On Bael's tray, a banana. Brought to all of your rooms as you guys start your day.
I wasn't expecting breakfast in bed.
It's been a while since I've had this. I believe last time was from you.
I'm not sure I've ever had it.
There's a little note, tiny like handwritten card on all of yours. It's just like, thank you for your patronage, and it's signed with the bartender's name.
Yeah, they're getting a massive tip.
Which is
Just a tip.
just in case you guys wanted it. I'll put that in chat just for you guys, since you guys never asked.
Marisha's not here to take notes.
Yeah, what was the name of that Oh shit, the note taker's not here. Anyhow.
You know, that was the first time she's ever not been there for a session, ever.
I know. She's the only one that hasn't missed, or has Taliesin not missed an episode ever. Too.
Taliesin, I think, missed one after Molly died.
Oh, I thought he came in at the end of the next session.
It
No,
might
yeah,
have
you're
been the
right.
end of the next
Yeah.
session.
But anyway.
I'd have to go back and look.
Anywho.
Sorry, campaign 2 spoiler alert
Yeah,
for anybody
right.
out there on Twitch. I'm so sorry.
My favorite was the person on TikTok that did roast a class, and they ended the Blood Hunter roast with guaranteed to expire in 26 sessions or less. So anyway, what do you guys want to do after you guys eat breakfast in bed?
So on like the nightstand, as before we come down, I will just leave um like 50 platinum.
Okay.
What shall we do now, ladies and gents?
I think back to the palace, unfortunately. Gonna be a fun day in the library.
Maybe we should send word to Penelope to let her know we're okay.
That would be smart.
Alright, I'll send a message letting her know we're fine. We're all, you know, together and whatnot.
Thanks for your help.
Thanks for your help. You're awesome.
Stay
You up?
safe. Don't fall asleep in the wine cask.
She wakes up just doing like floating on her back in the in the cask because it was only a nap. It's a 4-hour nap. To hear Bael's voice, she goes, oh, okay. I kind of wondered where y'all were, but it's okay. Cool. I'm here. Eleanor's here. Yeah. Let me know if you need me.
I reply the message.
That would be you using another message spell, just so you know.
Oh, I have to reply back to her?
Yeah, you have to use
If
another slot.
if
Yeah.
if you reply back, because her reply was to your spell, so
You'd
if
have to use
you
another slot.
would have to send another spell to talk to her again.
Alright.
So it's not necessary unless you really want to, but if you do, you are using another spell slot.
Yeah, I just reply what she said to the group.
All right.
Yeah, glad she's all right.
She seemed a
So
little.
I was a little worried about her when she seemed to have a bit of a hard time teleporting out of there, but I guess she figured it out.
I don't think she was supposed to be able to teleport out of there. I think that might be a problem that she was able to get out.
Yeah, let's try to work efficiently in this library. I'm not anxious to spend any more time in this building than we have to.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just find the books that we need. If anything catches our
Yeah.
eye that might help.
Split up, everybody look in different sections and just try to cover the whole thing as fast as we can.
I agree.
Okay. You guys are head to the palace to go
Yeah.
through the library there first, not the Mages Guild
Yep.
library. Okay.
Wait, are they not the
There are
same
two
library?
different libraries. Yeah, there is a private library in the palace that they gave you access to, and then there's the Mages Guild library.
Alice first.
Okay.
Get that out of the way.
All right. Easy enough to get there. It's about 20 minutes from where you guys are in Old Valerian. To get to the palace district and get to the palace itself, and they let you in without issue and point you immediately to the library. It is in one of the tower parapets of this structure, and
Who's
is
who's they?
like guards, like actual like physical like
Okay.
guards with like spears and stuff, not necessarily mages of the members guild.
Can I ask one of them like any news or updates after last night?
Not that we've been told this morning. So
All right. No, if somebody's able to talk to us for a minute, just have someone come up to the
no,
library.
of course, absolutely. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
no, of
Thanks.
course. Nope. And it's the second left. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
You guys get there. It is it has a spiral staircase that goes up like the 5 stories of this tower, and the walls are just lined with books. It's kind of like Beast Library from Beauty and the Beast, but like way taller. Really cool, really cool. The ladders on each floor go all the way around 360.
Yes, two of us start up top, two of us start at the bottom, and we meet in the middle.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah,
How would you guys like
I'll
to try
start.
and find books? I think is the question.
I actually want to do something to start. So Gon told us the actual name of the rift, right? What it's called. I'm sorry.
Well, you
My
guys
brain's
knew
blank
you
right
guys knew what the name of it was for a while, but yeah.
All right. I'm going to use Legends of Lore.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spell intrusion.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Where my consistent current forgotten stories you can see.
Significant lore stories.
Cool. So you use your ring, and you're going to cast Legend Lore.
Yes.
So your eyes close, and everything kind of goes black. What you guys see is his eyes light up with white light. A third eye of Ioun appears above the third as he kind of... And you hear Ioun's calming, quiet voice enter your mind. Destiny's Gate was created by the gods as a way to stop the destruction of Alaris as a whole during the Age of Heroes, when our battles and pitch got to be too much for the planet. It can be reopened and traveled through with the right type of magic or spell, such as Prime Ascension or Banishment. To reclose it would take incredible magic on both sides of the gate, if it were to ever be reopened. Of course, there are only a few of the gods that actually know what that magic entails, or even how to do it. Kind of come back to.
That was a journey. But it was helpful.
You looked pretty cool while that was all happening. I just want to let you know that because you couldn't see yourself, but you looked awesome.
It's going to take a god on. There are gods that know how to shut this. A few.
Also, roll your d6.
Yes. 5.
Cool.
There's a few gods that know how to shut this, but not all of them. And it's going to take a lot of magic on this side and the other side to shut it.
Do we know which gods?
I couldn't find that out, but
Well, I guess we need to find out more about the Age of Heroes then. How the gate was built and who built it. Who among the gods would be around who would remember why that gate was built and what its purpose is and why it's important.
it was said that during ascension or banishment it could be reopened. So I assume we should start looking with the gods that helped with the Trammels, the
Yeah.
original ones.
I think I'll just start kind of perusing the library and I'm looking for books that look a lot older than the other books. Like stuff that legitimately could have been taken from one of Ayun's libraries. Stuff about, you know, the Banishment or the Age of Heroes or anything like that. Like
Okay,
really, really old stuff.
cool.
Not just pretty old stuff.
All right, so give me a perception check. If you're doing like a quick course cursory sort, just
Yeah.
super quick.
24.
All right, you can start top or bottom.
Bottom, just because I don't think anybody wants to catch me if I fall.
Fair. Oh, there's railing and stuff on each level. It's not
I
that
know.
bad.
No,
Come
I'll,
on.
I'll start at the bottom.
Okay. Um, it looks like the newer stuff's on the bottom. Like these are more recent books. Like if somebody wanders in here, this is what they see first, kind of thing. As you look.
So after looking around, I'll just look up to the ceiling and say, I have a hunch that whatever we're looking for is going to be up there.
Okay. And are you gonna go up? I can imagine.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
If somebody else wants to.
As you go up the tower through the spiral staircase that goes up on each level. Yeah, the older the books get, till the top and everything is old and protected. Like if it's a scroll, it's double. You can tell like it's double wrapped to try and protect it every time it's unfurled.
Um, when I'm up there, I'll cast Locate Object,
Okay.
and it's describe or name an object that is familiar to you.
Okay.
You sense the direction to the object's location as long as it's been 1,000 feet of you. It can locate a specific object known to you. Alternatively, it can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel or jewelry or furniture, etc.
Okay. So we'll.
So I'll say a book from a library of Ayun.
Is it one specific object?
It's just whatever the nearest one is, but it lasts 10 minutes, so I can just kind of do a lap around,
Oh, and find the closest one.
like yeah, just like do a lap around and see if there are multiples or like see basically whatever the closest book from a library of Ioun is, it'll like ping me, and I'll know that that's the closest one. And then if I move so that a different one is closer, then that one will ping me instead, and I'll just keep moving around and get a sense of what am I looking at up here.
Okay. There are about 4 or 5 books from that describe that would match if you walk around. If it only gives you the closest one.
Yeah, I'll take all 4 or 5 of those books
Okay.
and come back downstairs and show everybody else.
All right.
Are these in languages that I can speak or not?
Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Um, 15.
Okay. When you touch them, they kind of like not necessarily buzz or vibrate, but there's something magical about them. Like while they're in here, they can be read. Because you open the book and you can see letters that you don't understand, but you can read it. like there's a permanent like comprehend cast on these books so that people can access the information that is contained within them.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they're not in a language you can read, but you can read them.
Okay.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
Uh, the first one.
Okay. I thought I was gonna burp again. Sorry. Oh, I had the wrong book page open. That's funny. I'm gonna do a random book.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I rolled 1. The first book you pulled off the shelf, you're reading through it. And give me an intelligence check.
Natural 1 for a 5.
Damn. So this is new information to you. As you're flipping through the pages, it talks about the prime, like the prime crafters, like to you, the people that were responsible for like the Age of Heroes. Not it, because not all the gods were involved, but more were directly involved. And through it, it was most of the gods trusted these people to create like the rite of prime ascension and the advances they made in magics as gods themselves during this time. And the members of this were Ioun, Gond, Mystra, Moradin, and Corellian. And it does talk about how the Destiny's Gate is how the gods arrived on Alaris, but it doesn't. That book about those gods and their creations during the Age of Heroes does not go into detail about the gate itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. We gotta look through another book.
Yep.
I rolled a 1 again. You found 5 books, right?
You said 4 or 5.
I meant 5. If I said 4, I meant 5.
No, you literally said you find 4 or 5 books.
It was 5. I have the sheet up in front of me.
Okay.
I was just double
Okay.
checking if I accidentally said 4, I meant 5.
5 it is.
Okay. This book in the last one you grabbed, the 5th book, is about banishment and the magics of banishment, including the spells that banish things temporarily, or even things that lock you out of the plane that allow you to banish yourself to move through this plane unhindered. Make an intelligence check for me.
9.
Okay. In terms of magic, what this book is talking about is a little above your pay grade.
I hand it off to Lucy.
Okay. I was gonna say,
See if you can make heads or tails of this. This is pretty theoretical for me.
Okay. What do I need to roll?
intelligence check, please. Which is ironic because I think Alvin has the highest intelligence, or Royce. I'm not sure.
So it's a
Just
check.
because it was on the subject of magic.
All right. What was it?
So it's a check.
Yep.
So just D20 and then my
+2.
so
Roll with
21.
advantage because you have used banishment magic.
They're both a 19, so 21.
Cool. Excellent. In this book, it goes on to talk about how these spells were the basis for banishment itself that was created by Moradin. And this book was written from the perspective of Mage at the end of the Age of Heroes and goes into the theoretical magic that possibly the gate itself was banished out of existence, so that only somebody that knew it was there could unbanish it and reopen the connection. And goes into details about things you guys already knew, in addition about the process of possibly banishing a god and Moradin doing that as well. Within that's the last section of the book that you understand more of, having the basis in magics of the nature.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next book.
All right. I rolled 2. I'll just go through. So that was book 5 is the book on banishment.
Mm-hmm.
Book 1 is about the crafting
Yep.
group. 1 second to make sure I have all this right. Because I have them out of order. Okay. Number 2 is a book on Ioun that looks familiar to you all, although way more aged. Book 3 seems to be primarily about Moradin. Also looks extremely familiar to you all, although not as kept as the one you guys found. In book 4 is about Thayer's Dune. If any of those interest you.
So the book on Ioun is like kind of the same book on Ioun that we already have.
And the Moradin one looks close as well.
Same book on Moradin that we already have.
Yep.
I'll just take a closer look at the book on Thayer's Dune.
All right. It's thicker and looks different than the one you guys already have as well too, which clues you in there might be something in there. And it is a lot of theoretical magics on what they can do if he somehow returns to the plane to keep his body, to keep his avatar from coming to life and getting out because they know where it is. And then it talks about the process of creating the case he was in and emergency procedures put in place, and then talks about how they've moved it several times and put it deeper underground at least twice. So it sounds like it was not always there from where you guys fought him.
Well, no, I would assume not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just so happen to be in Rainan's basement.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, Raynon definitely does seem like he just like has been going all British museum and bringing every dangerous knickknack in the world into his basement for fun.
Yeah.
And again, can't possibly ever bite us in the ass. But well, that's helpful. I does have a it does have a list of 5 gods. The first book had a list of 5 gods who would probably be a good place to start. And we know that Moradin had something to do with banishing the gate the first time. It sounds like you don't close the gate, you just banish it. So that only somebody who knows what it is and where it is could reopen it.
That would make sense.
But I don't see anything here about the exact processes for making that happen. How do you banish a gate? It might be something we have to ask Ayun when we see her.
He told me it would take incredible magic from this side and that side. And that was all I know. Which means we're probably going to have some gods help us with this.
Yeah, for sure. God's on both sides of the gate helping with it. But who do we trust to be on this side of the gate? Because once the gate's closed, nobody who's here can get back.
I think the 5 who closed it initially.
But I would think some of them would be on the other side and some of them would be on this side.
Yes, I just meant on who to trust.
Oh no, I don't mean who to trust. I just mean, any any so we're gonna find gods be on that side of the gate, some of them are gonna be on this side of the gate, and we're gonna get it closed. And after it's closed, whichever gods were on this side of the gate are stuck here. And you heard what Willem said about like a god alone on this plane is just going to travel the world and gather followers and get incredibly powerful.
Well, I think we can trust Gond.
I think we can trust God. I'm not sure if he'll be enough or if he'll honestly be into the idea of being stuck here for another eternity. That's already happened to him once.
Makes it a tough question.
Yeah. Anyway, if somebody else wants to look up there and see if you can find anything, up there seems to be the right place to look. But
Is anybody gonna go up and look, or
Yeah, I'll go up and look.
okay? Perception or investigation, dealer's choice. And what are you looking for? Anything specific?
Older books that say anything about like the gods or I actually really like to find stuff on the Raven Queen's ascension and like what all that like because obviously the gate had to open for her to be there now.
Okay.
You said investigation. So
Or
that is
perception, dealer's choice.
well, they're both the same
Oh, okay.
number, so both are a dirty 20.
Okay. So you rolled.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a little bit, but there is in fact a book. The first name on the book, the letters are there, and even with the spell cast on it, is unreadable. And then there is a comma, Death Ascended. Which is very interesting to you.
I definitely grabbed that book.
That is a book you find. I assume you're going to bring it back down to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When you get back down, the mage you all talked to yesterday will come into the library. I was told I would find you all here. Is everything going well?
Yeah, so far so good.
Excellent, excellent.
How's everything on your end?
Not so great. I would appreciate it if you all could spare about 15 or 20 minutes of your time.
What do you need?
We have other people waiting in another room where I can explain it there. Also, the presence of your fairy friend is requested as well.
For what purpose?
It. I have been told to not, or to tell you as little as possible, unfortunately, in this situation until everyone is assembled.
Then we'll assemble without our fairy friend, unless you can tell us more.
I'm sorry, but we're not just going to call for her to join us.
I can assure you that it is nothing bad or ill sorted. We just need to get some things in order here fairly quickly.
I appreciate your accommodation and your candor. The problem is we just don't trust you, and it's not personal. So we're going to hear what you have to say, and then we're going to decide if we're calling our fairy friend.
Give me 1 second, and I'll put his hand to his temple, and you can hear him cover his mouth and talk underneath his breath. Sending a sending spell. Okay. I've been given instruction to tell you of certain things. The clerics spent 8 hours trying to bring the Mage Emperor back last evening. All of their attempts failed. His will and testament that he rewrote 2 days ago, the day after the attack by Vecna, contains some of your names, including hers, and her presence is requested.
Understood.
There.
Bael, why don't you send her a message? This will be interesting news for her.
Alright, I'll send her a message. Say, I'll give her a heads up what's going on. Hey, we need you back here. Tell her the information. Can you make it? Come help. He seems out of it a little bit.
I am going to look over at the guy who came in for us. My condolences. We tried to.
Right. We know and we appreciate everything you guys have done. It was just, I guess, time or he didn't want to return or something thereof. That's an unfortunate situation, but we said of the Mages Guild for 400 years and Major Emperor for 70, and that is quite a long time.
Hell of a ride.
That is certainly one way to put it.
A lot of people would be lucky to have a ride that long.
Our final count was 1,386 years, which is quite long even for an elf.
Is Bael managed to speak in complete sentences to Penelope?
Yes, I would imagine so, that he is able to relay the information that is required to get the point across.
Does he relay enough that she feels that it's urgent enough to teleport, or that she can just fly herself there in a few hours?
I feel like Penelope would be interested enough in what possibly he could have left her that
This
she
is
would
true.
teleport. Like, what the fuck did that asshole leave me?
This is true. Okay.
Also, he's dead. I mean, put on your best glamored armor.
I'll turn it all black.
Oh no, I would
Mourning.
love if all the Sect Argustus were in all black, and then you like fly in wearing like hot pink.
A peach wedding dress.
Just throwing flowers everywhere, rose petals. Like,
The rose petals might be a bit much.
What if those are black?
The rose petals? I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Valid, that would work.
Okay.
yeah, that's appropriate.
No, she's gonna do one of the statement pieces. It's gonna be a black dress, but a little teeny tiny stitching, on the like right above her butt. It's gonna say, "Bitch is dead."
I imagine it like that really famous meme of the guy in the sunglasses. It's like my worst enemy just died, and I showed up to the funeral just to make sure he was dead. Like that's Penelope right now.
Okay. Is that how Penelope's gonna show up? Hell yes.
I'm just gonna show up in regular armor and outfit.
Do you want to roll the D100? Nah, you've been to Valerian enough. You know where the palace is. You can teleport here, no problem. It's a bit uncouth, but I imagine we should proceed to where we're going. If you would all follow me. I'll lead you down a hallway into a sitting room similar to the one you guys were in yesterday, but bigger, and now kind of set up a little bit more formally. There's a long table at one end with several pieces of parchment. Somebody in a suit and tie sitting behind it, clearly. Probably legal counsel for the Mages Guild. Or Raynon himself.
Is it a video will and testament?
No.
Is he gonna leave us the Minnesota Twins?
Yes, he's leaving you the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, but I'd rather have my grandfather. Oh.
What is it from?
Little Big League?
Oh, fuck. Jesus,
Literally,
right.
I got the reference and
Oh,
he didn't.
man,
Holy
it slipped
shit.
my head.
My God.
and
I
then
made
there's
a
like, and then
baseball
there's like all,
reference that Rai didn't get, you
yeah,
guys.
and then there's like all sorts of like circular chairs here, like set out in like semicircle in a bunch of different rows. About half of them are already filled. Our Rain is there, of course. And there are also some people that you guys do not recognize. As it seems to be a small kind of inner circle.
I'll grab a seat at the back.
Okay.
Just wanting to. I didn't know him the best. I'm not expecting to be mentioned in this document. I'm just here.
Okay. When we'll kind of look over at the mage that brought you in. Is that everyone? Yes, of course it is. All right. Now I shall begin. He rewrote one 2 days ago. After the events of the attack by the Lich. This is my last, and he'll skip over a bunch of legalese and just kind of search for what everybody's there for. Giving out various items in his possession, some of his books, none of the ones you guys took. Various statues and art pieces that are around the house, and some people are like, oh, good, yes, of course, I'll take that, and that's and that. Finally, we get to the real estate of the area. Of course, the Emperor had 7 estates. I'll give out, and I'll name 3 or 4, or sorry, 3 of them. Arain gets one. Somebody you guys have never heard of by the name of Creighton Thorpe. It gets the estate home in Lesteel. Seems to be a wizard there, because he is in Mage Guild robes. By the name of Ragon gets the estate in the plains of Lyra. What are you guys laughing about over there? I need to know.
No, we were joking that like this is why Rai asked if we want any more gear, because he was gonna leave it to us like the last will and testament of Albus Dumbledore.
Kind of.
It's like, oh, you get a cool little useful item.
And finally he goes, the estate in North Pass, in the forest home, the Wild Ridge estate, he leaves to, if I'm reading this correctly, Penelope?
What?
It was where I did most of my research on the Fae, and I considered it fitting.
Okay.
Belcourt Manor, my lake home, just outside the city of Valeran, I leave to Alvin and Lucindra.
Oh, wow. This is like twice as many houses as I've ever owned in my life.
The estate to the north of Valeran and west of Alzee, I leave to Royce.
A house. What do I do with a house?
And along with the money to convert it into an orphanage, I leave the palace in the city of Valeran to Bael.
What?
That's what it says here.
Well, I'll be damned.
The man did have a heart.
And then he added this.
The man had a lot of real estate.
That he did. And that's only for the people that were here. He also added a page after the events of just a few days ago. As I personally look beyond the threat that the Empire just faced, that of Vecna, a threat that I did not take seriously enough for the second time as ruler of this place, I look to the past and previous failures of the Mages Guild as it ruled for centuries prior, and as well as the Empire. Beginning with my death, whenever that may be, I believe the lands of the Empire must stay together, but under a form with the intention of never letting this happen to Alaris or this planet again. It is my last will and testament that there shall be no Mage Emperor appointed, but rather from here forth a High Council shall be formed to rule as a whole over the lands of the Valerian Empire. These titles are in no way meant to be hereditary, like I intended the Mage Emperor to be, and those who accept these titles be responsible for naming the best possible replacement when they decide to retire. If one of those appointed in my will refuses the appointment, those who accept their appointment will be responsible for filling out the remainder of the High Council. I'll pull out another piece of paper. We'll start at the top. The Master of Arcana, Ararain Byleth of the Mages Guild.
Do we clap?
We do.
Maester of the Realm, the head of religions, Bael. Master of Law, former head of the Thieves Guild, Creighton Thorpe. Master of Information, Royce Foxtail. Master of Coin, Lucindra. And in times of peace, First Knight, and in times of war, Lord Commander, Alvin de Haast.
No. No, this isn't right. I mean, I'll devote my life to protecting the people of Alaris, to making sure they're safe and prosperous and free, but I don't want power just because it's bequeathed to me, and by the emperor.
I mean, it is your right to decline it, as steerly clated here.
I just think we shouldn't do it this way at all. I understand that this is his will and testament, but he's also dead.
That's true.
We
Which is
don't
why we're reading this.
we don't have to. I understand dividing up his properties and his real estate holdings, but he doesn't get to decide how the people of this world are governed after he's gone. That's for us to figure out. And
And if
frankly,
we
I think the people of this world deserve a say in how they're governed. For too long, they haven't had any say at all. They've just been trampled under the foot of some empire or another. It's time for the people to have a say. If they choose us, then so be it. But
I mean, hereditarily, he was supposed to declare in his will who was Mage Emperor, and instead he divided up all of those responsibilities, it seems. So it's within his right. Granted, it is one that he created himself.
it's too much power to be in the hands of one person, certainly, but it's too much power to be in the hands of 5 or 6.
Fair.
Power belongs to the people. Or it should.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is fair. Non-hereditary council.
Let the people choose. And everyone.
And that will be for...
Farmers and blacksmiths and tanners and grocers. Let everyone choose
And again, if the
how
High
they're going to be
Council...
ruled.
If the High Council wants to dissolve itself, that will be a vote of the High Council.
Then sure, I accept, and as my first act on the High Council, I move that we dissolve. and call for a gathering of leaders from across Alaris to
Alvin, I agree,
figure
but
out self-government.
yeah, can I speak with you for 1 second, Alvin?
I
Yeah,
had
of
one
course.
more.
Oh, sorry. If
Sorry,
I
no, you're good. I appreciate the candor, but I did have one more. Um, there is also the Hand of the Empire who will lead the council itself. And it says here that it went to the person, um, pardon my French, with the only set of balls big enough to talk back to me on a consistent basis. And it again says Penelope. Is that correct? Yes.
Penelope?
I automatically vote myself off the council.
I mean, he put it in. I believe he was, again, under his own rule here, was required to name a non-hereditary replacement to the Mage Emperor. Regardless of how the High Council acts, if they dissolve themselves and create some other type of system, I guess he trusted you all to do it.
And look, Alvin, that was the point I wanted to make. At least we can be the ones to come up with a system that is fair for the people. We can't leave that to just anyone because you're right. The people do deserve to have that power. But if we leave it to chance and don't come up with the rules that make it fair, then we'll end up with another mage emperor that no one has a choice on. If we just walk away.
I just think we need input from more people than just us. I mean,
Oh, I agree.
we
I
should get
agree.
farmers from Lasteel and blacksmiths from LZ and tanners from all over the place. Get people to come here, have a big convention, and figure this out. Because I don't know, like in all of our travels around this world, the one constant, the one thing that we've seen everywhere is people being ruled without their consent. And how many of them are having how many of them are enjoying that experience?
They were being ruled by people who wanted power, not by people who wanted to do right by them, which is what we need to fix.
Of course,
I agree with you.
but I don't think we get to just appoint ourselves the people who don't want power and therefore have all the power. Like it's for the people to decide. It's their lives that are going to be affected by this. I mean, we're all realistically going to be fine.
I agree with you.
But I think we can set a date when we're going to have this big convention or whatever you want to call it and start writing letters to the mayors and the governors of all the different towns and regions and see what kind of meeting of the minds we get when everybody comes to the capital. And maybe they decide at the end of it to put us in charge, which I
Would
would
be their right.
that would be their right, and then I would serve if it was with the consent of the people I'm going to be governing, but I'm not. We don't deserve power just because some emperor decided we should have it. We need to earn it.
Bael's gonna have his hands full with an orphanage full of kids anyway.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
and
a
we also
or
need to probably figure out how to get the like extremely dangerous artifacts out of the basement before you convert it to like a dorm for children.
Please,
But
we need somewhere safe for them. No more
like
toys.
just stick it
I'm gonna
all on a
tell
demi-plane and throw away the
Those
key or something.
those items, the elevators and such that go to the palace will be removed, but from the headquarters of the Mages Guild, they will still be accessible.
They need to not
To my
exist
knowledge.
on this plane. They should
Fair.
not exist on this plane.
I do
Like,
have a perfect place we can store those things not on this plane.
Again, I believe it was those decisions that he wanted to leave up to you all, and instead of naming a mage emperor, named the lot of you.
well, we
I think
appreciate his vote of confidence, but if we're all in agreement, I think it's time to start writing letters and start
I agree.
summoning people to this big conference we're going to have, or constitutional convention, or something.
I was chosen for the Constitutional Convention. Well, when judging by how he wrote this, he, regardless of it, I believe, trusted you to form whatever rules or changes needed to be made.
Yeah, then that's my answer.
I am a little concerned that he put the wholly untrustworthy mercenary murder fairy in charge of like everything.
I'm a little bothered by that as well. Please don't kill everyone.
Arain, who's kind of like leaning back very heavily in her chair, is just kind of like,
Honestly,
I think this is
Penelope,
like the world's worst apology for how they acted. In honestly,
and honestly, Penelope, he's made worse decisions.
Oh, I know.
He's
I'm
he's
just
made
saying,
much worse
you can see
decisions.
Arain, like everybody in the room, just like, yeah,
putting Lucinda in charge just makes a million times more sense than putting me in charge. That's all I'm saying. Put the former princess who like kind of knows how to do shit, not the fairy who just goes and kills people for money.
Well, I think the people need to be in charge. The leader is who they choose. Maybe it'll be you. Maybe it'll be someone we've never heard of. But it's time for their fate to be in their own hands.
entirely possible.
The joys of being the people in charge, we can decide that and make it better for them at least.
Arain kind of looks confused. I get you all, but me, I'm a bit confused on.
Well, if you get me, then let me in on the secret.
You undid his biggest mistake. That makes sense. Me, I was just the part of the Mages Council that didn't die in the attack by Tiamat. A bit odd.
Institutional memory. None of us remember Tiamat.
Fair. That is true. That is a good point. Creighton Thorpe's kind of sitting back in his chair like this. Like, I was literally, like, just disbanded at Thieves Council, like, a year ago, and he puts me in charge of law. Like, I don't.
It's because you know how
See,
to break the
Bael-
law.
That may be it.
You see Bael doodling on paper, drawing like an orphanage.
The orphanage.
How many Hamilton references can we make?
At least one or two more.
Probably. I mean, it is certainly interesting, but I think you may be right.
It's a
But
good use for the building.
no, your whole spiel. But I think we at least have to honor his wishes somewhat.
We can run the convention when everybody gets here. We can kind of keep everybody organized and flesh this out. And at the end of it, maybe they choose us, maybe they don't. But I think at the end of the day, it has to be up to people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how are we any different than every king, every emperor, every lord who came before? And that system isn't working.
I mean, it isn't that system. We keep each other in check.
And it's the people who suffer.
I mean,
Like unless they're given some agency in this whole situation, I don't see anything working.
true. No, that's true.
I say we give people their independence.
Not while Al Ghul still stands. You can't do it.
I did agree with one thing he said in that is that the Valerian the the Empire needs to stay together. I think he's right about that. I don't think it should stay together as an empire that's governed from above by a select cabal who the people had no role in choosing. But I do think it needs to stay together. We need to have a united, a unified nation.
I think for, a show of appearances, maybe don't show cracks until something happens on the other side of over there. It'll point in the wrong direction of Al Ghul. Over there, wherever. Until something's done about them.
Is there any way to negotiate with them?
Irene kind of sits up in her chair. I don't currently think so. I've, been over there. I've been around helping different druid circles and things, but
Lachlan certainly has to go.
he does.
But once that's over, maybe they want to join the party, be part of our new experiment, or maybe they want to do their own thing.
I think that's true. I think it is true. You never know what happens until you try. But I don't think they can be reasoned with. They're undead.
I'm also not in the business of conquering people.
I don't think we go in with the idea of conquering them. I think you go in with the idea of liberating them.
Yeah.
I believe that was your plan.
Yeah. Not to conquer them, but just to get rid of Lachlan and then let the people make their own choices.
Now you see, that's smart. But until that happens, I think we got to come out swinging and saying this is the High Council or whatever, and it's a united front in case Lachlan sees what's going on.
Since we're what the High Council now,
Yeah.
has there ever been a sub council?
So, I'm gonna get back into lawyer voice real quick.
A council of subs?
6-inch or
A
12-inch.
council. The council that's below us that are of citizens.
During the time of the Mages Council, where they ruled over this land, you obviously had the Mages Council itself, which was composed of 5 members, and then the leader composing a sixth. And then there were different sub councils that handled different schools and types of magic. So the precedent would be there.
At least we would give the citizens who we pick a role, you know?
I think that's something I don't think it's right to set ourselves apart from citizens like that. We're the ones who rule and they're the ones who advise us or whatever. Like no, they're the ones who rule. They choose their leaders. Otherwise, what even gives us the right to rule them? The fact that some dead emperor said we could?
Pretty much, yes.
I I don't I don't think it should work that way.
I don't think it should either.
I don't know. I was just trying to give the people something to, be proud of
Yeah.
also.
Oh no, I agree with that. I think we get people together. We write letters, get the word out, have every town and every village and every region send their leaders here and hash it out and figure out what is this going to look like and how are
So
our leaders going to check each other and make sure that no one person gets too much power and we can devise a some kind of system that'll do that.
Thorpe will like press the digitation, light a hand-rolled cigarette, kind of smoke it, stand up, kind of look around. He goes, "Yeah, so I just want to be clear because they were a threat before this started. Al Ghul first, what to do with us second? Because like they seemed like really bad from what we heard from the front and stuff with the vampires.
That that's probably smart.
Again, maybe this is why I put us all in a room together.
No, I don't disagree. It makes sense to handle our existential threat before we start worrying about people's rights and freedoms and
Yeah,
whatnot.
because like what you said made a shit ton of sense.
Who may?
Well,
I
what
don't
he
know.
said, points at Alvin. Yeah, what he said, it made a lot of sense. Because what
No, and what you said made a lot of sense too, that it is probably best to deal with the Al Ghul threat before we start
and what our reign here
remaking society.
and what our reign said here makes sense too. All this stuff, the entire page you just read, sounds like an apology way too late to a lot of people he pissed off who he shouldn't. So whatever you guys want to do, because he's dead. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that he'll be back eventually.
Wait, I have a question about the sort of the org chart, so to speak.
Yeah, what's up? Are you talking to lawyer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what exactly was the title he gave me again?
I'll pull the start the paper back up. In times of peace, first knight of Valeran, and in times of war, Lord Commander.
Lord Commander of what?
I guess the
And who?
army.
I think he said Warlord Commander,
What
right?
does the army? I don't like the Sector Gussus?
That would be part of it, and then part of your duties, yes.
So I'm in charge of the Sector Gussus.
And also the actual physical army and navy of Valeran.
So
You just became your
right,
mom's
I'm
boss.
that's what I yes. So you're telling me that at least for these next couple weeks or however long it takes to defeat Oh cool, I'm my mom's boss.
If your mother is in the Sector Augustus or in the army, then yes.
This day just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
And what
I
was
didn't
my
think I was
role?
going to be reading this when I woke up, so I completely understand. I'm sorry, what was that?
What was I appointed to,
Um,
other than getting the orphanage?
you were appointed
No.
Maester of the realm that handled all things religion based in the Empire. Conflicts and disputes between churches and resolutions would be your charge.
You're the Pope.
Not so much the Pope, but more like the mediator between all the different religions to make sure the shit doesn't happen between them, I guess.
You're like a mixture of Gandhi and the Pope.
Yeah, kind of.
And what I'm gonna need details on what it all entails, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Remember, I'm still young.
Fair.
So I guess this is real. He's really not. There's not going to be a clone of him that just bursts through the door right now and says, "Gotcha." Because that's kind of
Ain't
what I've
even
been expecting this whole time.
Nope. They spent, if the count was correct, they spent 9 diamonds or 225,000 gold from the city coffers to buy the diamonds big enough to try and bring him back.
Plus 3 attempts.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess this is it.
And how much was I given to build this orphanage?
There is a set amount within the will for the conversion of the palace to an orphanage. The designs are also already in there, so I believe the city itself will take care of it and the budget.
So either I use these designs or I come up with my own.
If you want to come up with your own designs, they'd have to fit within the budget that's already been established, which I would need to find more details on. I don't have the planning documents in front of me right now.
Understandable.
Well, I
Just
think you
that
need
which
to
was
speak.
contained in the
I
will.
I think you need to speak to our new master of coin about that.
Entirely possible.
You would need to.
Sup.
Anyway, before we before we all get too big-headed, we should figure out what to do about Al Ghul.
I will usher the people who aren't on the council out if that is what you guys are asking for. So you all can
Yeah,
decide your course of
yeah,
action.
sure.
All right.
We should start planning.
Yes, with those not involved in the council, please follow me out. We'll kind of usher 5 or 6 people who actually got property within the before you guys out of the room until it's just the 7 of you. And that's what we'll pick up next time. Hey, jazz hands. Yeah, boy.
Sorry for inventing democracy in your fantasy world.
Oh man. All right, we're gonna go raid one of our bros doing wow shit because it's Wrath launch night. So we'll see you guys Wednesday. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Be gooder.
Yeah, be
I
good,
will
guys.
be Wednesday. We will see y'all.
Yes. Hundo Posento. And we're ready. So I'll see you guys then. And we'll be back Monday for next episode and see how if democracy turns out any better than it does in civilization games. Bye.